Dear devotees and friends, let us begin the Yoga Vasistha as usual, the Sunday discourse, with this mantra. Dikaladi anavachinna ananta chinmatra murtaye swanubhuti ekamanaya Namah Shantaya Tejasi. I salute the Supreme Brahman, who is beyond all qualities, tranquil, above all limitations, the embodiment of infinite consciousness, and can be known only through the proof of one's own experience. Friends, slowly we are proceeding holding the torch of knowledge along with the Guru Vasistha and of course Sri Ramachandra to the goal, and that is the Brahman, the ultimate truth. In our last discourse, we heard Guru Vasistha express the highest Advaita Vedanta by saying, I offer my salutation to myself. As we have already discussed, it's a very strong word that he has used, and majority of the people and those who are in the realm of duality will be astounded how it is possible to say that I am offering my pranam to myself, not to any god. So this is the highest Vedanta, that there it is only one and not two, and that one is within me. So that from that point of view he is telling, and he said, Maiham eva nama namaha. I bow down to myself again and again. But who is this I? The indweller of every created being. The indweller, that is Sarva Bhuta Antara Sthaya. Every being is having that consciousness. Now, how it is possible? Then it says it is like the reflection. The sun is one, but the reflection of the sun on the different waves, the millions may be the waves, so millions are the suns, but they are all reflected sun. Similarly, the jivas, the individual self, they are also having that consciousness, but it is not that original, it is only the reflection, and that reflection is so much that we always feel I. This I am educated, I am intelligent, I am this, I am that. Where from this I come? The ahamkara is from here. So this it says Sarva Bhuta Antarasthaya, that I am the inmost consciousness in the individuals, Pratyak Chaitanya Rupaya. So that is I. When he says, I bow down to myself, I offer pranam to myself, this is not this body. When the Lord Krishna said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja, that is not that Krishna who was playing the flute in the Vrindavan. It is the Krishna who is all pervading, all consciousness. The problem is, particularly those who are studying the Hinduism, they always get confused with the duality and non-duality. So non-duality is completely different conception, and duality is a different concept, but both are leading to the same goal. So sometimes the terminologies that are used for the non-duality are used for duality too. So that's why this type of confusion comes and we don't know what to do. So to get clear that there are three approaches to the ultimate truth, which is one. It says that if you are following the path of analysis, path of knowledge, path of discrimination, path of judging, it's a different path, and they don't have any God. They are not meditating. Their goal is the Brahman, which is consciousness, which is all pervading. So, this is the one path. Second, Tantra. It says the same thing, but they give importance to the power, the activities that is happening all around. So, they say if that power is not there, then all this knowledge and all these things are nothing. So, that is their power. So, they say the mother, that is the power, and that power is everywhere, everywhere. The Brahman, everywhere consciousness, mother, everywhere that power. And they say, what is that ultimate? The power, that is mother, Kali, and the knowledge, which is Shiva, when they come together. So, that is the ultimate knowledge. And for the duality, they say the Lord Vishnu. Vishnu means again everywhere, everywhere God. The same consciousness now taking the form so that we can meditate on that. That is the only differences. Now we are following the pure Advaita, where there is no conception of God, there is no conception of duality, and we are trying to understand that non-dual consciousness which is all pervading. Now, I am offering the puja to myself. Those who have studied the biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. So, why I refer Sri Ramakrishna? Because all the scriptures that we read, everything you will find the reference in his life. There is a unique personality, unique life. So, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when he was worshipping the goddess Kali, a time came when he started feeling that the goddess Kali and he are same. So, he was worshipping himself. The flower that was supposed to be there to offer at the feet of the mother Kali, he took that flower and kept it on his head, worshipping himself. The garland he is putting on himself, and the food also that is to be offered to the god, instead he was eating. So, by that way we can understand the scripture when it says, Maiham eva nama namaha, I am worshipping myself, I bow down to myself again and again. It is true, because there is no difference, it becomes one, completely one. So, this is the way slowly. Now, the disciple Sri Rama, he was humbly asking to his guru, Sir, the infinite consciousness is transcendental. I wonder how this universe exists in it. And one is transcendental, the which is all pervading, everywhere, no existence physically, but the world is physically present. Now, you say that everything is the same, and then ultimately you say this is the consciousness, and Sri Rama was a young boy at that time. So, he was asking, he was wondering how the world which I can touch, which I can smell, which I can taste, which I can see, how that can exist into that transcendental consciousness, which is everywhere. In reply, the Rishi, the Guru Vasistha, he said, O Rama, this universe exists in the infinite consciousness just as future waves exist in a calm sea. So beautifully he gave the answer. How to explain? This is very difficult. That is why in the beginning itself, every day before reading this Yoga Vasistha, we chant that mantra. How to prove? Your own experience. This is so subtle, unless and until one is experiencing it himself or herself, it is not possible. So, to some extent intellectually we may understand, we may try to grasp that conception, but unless we realize it, it is impossible. Now, when we were not here in America, the Swamis from America, they used to go and they used to give the talk about America. And in Advaita Ashram, we were brahmacharis, the Swami is from New York, Swami is from other centers, from Bhashyanandaji from Chicago. They went to the Advaita Ashram, they gave the talk, they explained, oh, this is America, the big lane, bog road, this, that, and picture also. Nowadays it is so easy. But when we were young, that time there was no TV. So naturally curiosity about the America, how is it? And so the beautiful picture. And some of the villages, the pictures of the counties, the green grasses, we used to wonder, oh, beautiful place, just like the picturesque. Now that much. But when you came over here, when you were living over here, we know everything about America. Now that experience, and when we read about the place, we hear about the place, see the picture of the place, are the same? It is not. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna gave the example. He said some people have heard the name of milk. Oh, it is milk, white, liquid. And some people have seen that. And some people drank that milk and became strong. So these are the three differences. In the spiritual life also, we hear about God. We hear about Atman. That much. But then some people, they feel about that. Yes, it may be that the consciousness is like this and like that. But those who completely realize that, are completely different. We will come to that. Slowly the Guru is taking us, and he said, you are asking how this universe is existing in the consciousness. Then he gave the example as the potential waves are existing in a calm ocean. So I have seen many of you have seen the oceans, maybe you have also gone, and I was there in Andaman, so I used to go from Calcutta to Andaman. It's a 5 days, the sail, and Bay of Bengal, and there is notice, the single wave, so calm, and the mid-sea was but a huge wave may come any time. So the wonderful example is, the creation is there where there is no creation. That means the desire only makes that. Now slowly he will go on giving the example. The consciousness and the universe, in truth, non-different, but with the potentiality of an apparent difference. They are not different, at the same time apparently different. Again, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's life, if you go, is a holy man going to the theatre and then sitting over there with all, observing the theatre, appreciating, and going and appreciating the actor and actresses. Today it is okay, but think about almost 100 years before, 150 years before, and that too in India, the social condition. In that situation, a very holy man, who were considered as an avatara while he is leaving, he used to go and meet those people. It is unthinkable. Oh, holy man should not do this, should not go there, and should like this and like that. Why? Oh, all those things are worldly things, and they are all, everything is nothing but sin. And you are only holy if you are staying inside the temple. That's a very peculiar conception. But the Vedantin feel everywhere that purity, wherever they go. Why? This is the same God everywhere present. That's why we see the Sri Ramakrishna is visiting different places. He is visiting the theatre, he is visiting different houses, the museum, and all those places he is going, not just secretly, with all the devotees, to prove God is everywhere, and whatever you see is nothing but the God. How? You have to wait, because the Guru Vasistha is going to tell us that truth slowly. As the reflection of an object in crystal can be said to be neither real nor entirely unreal. The crystal is clear, but if you keep the red color something, maybe a cloth, immediately it becomes red. We cannot say it is completely unreal. Why? We are seeing, everyone is seeing that it is red. But in reality, it is not real. So, real and unreal, they can exist together. It depends on the person's perception. When a particular person, suppose a child is a very young person going to see the movie, and he sees the movie, he gets attached to that movie, and so many people, they are moved with those things. Sometimes I used to wonder also how a person there inside the jungle, and when we were young used to go to the movie, so I was, oh my God, particularly Tarzan movie, and so many animals here and there. I used to get excited, and sometimes I announced or shouted also, Tarzan, the tiger at the back. But the other people and the senior people will say, there are cameramen are there, they are taking the photos, that photo we are seeing, everything is safe, Tarzan is not going to get harmed, anything. So, that slowly when I matured, then I understood. So, both are same, both are there. If I am not mature, if I am ignorant, I see a thing in a different way, like a child looking at the movie and thinking all those things are real. Yeah, why child? Young people also, they don't understand. Everything is nothing but false in the movie. One hero is beating 5 villains. That is not possible. But we think there. But those who are in that, they know everything is nothing but the drama. They are just enacting like that. So, both are existing, and it is depending on the approach, how I understand it. So, he is telling the reflection of giving the example of the crystal. Again he is telling, as light can be seen except through the reflecting agent, similarly infinite consciousness is revealed through various bodies. How we will know the consciousness is existing? Through the living being. The light, we cannot see the light, only if there is something, the object on which it is reflecting, then we can understand, oh, this is the light. So, that is the way, the wonderfully the Guru Vasistha giving the example. Now, the being, living being, within them the consciousness is reflecting. The example is giving. How you will know? Because there is something which, when not there, we say that particular body as dead. The body is completely there. All the limbs are there. Those eyes, those legs, those hands, everything is there. But at the same time, we take that body and burn or bury. Why? It is dead. What is that death? Some consciousness is absent. Otherwise, all those things are there in the body, whatever that we find in the body are there. The consciousness, that proves the consciousness. And the Vedantin will say that when you go into the deep sleep, where you don't see the dream even, what remains? You are sleeping means your body is absent. You are not dreaming means your mind is absent. The body is absent, mind is not there, then what remains there? That comes back and says, oh, I had a wonderful sleep. Today I didn't see any dream even. I am fresh. What is that? That is consciousness. So, this is the way avastha traya vichara, again and again the Vedantin they say, because it is very difficult to prove the consciousness, because it is me. I am existing. Who am I? Each and everyone, even a very intelligent scientist will also say, I miss this body. And these bones, the marrows, the blood, and is this me? It was not there when I was just born, a little kid, a baby, lying on the lap of the mother, and now the present me are the same. How can that be? I was such a small little, and now I am such a big one. The body has changed completely, still I go on saying it is me. I used to think that all this world is very peculiar, people are looking at me, I am so much afraid. All the time I was holding the hand of my mother, I was very much afraid to talk to any person. That me is going to war as a soldier, fighting against enemies. That means the mind has also changed. If that mind of a baby or a child and the grown-up man, they're not the same mind, but still we say it is me. So what is that me then? So it says that consciousness which is already there. Consciousness has no name and form, but names and forms are ascribed to its reflections. So how that I is existing, we began with that, I am worshipping myself. How this I is living? Because that I is that reflection of the pure consciousness. As the sun is reflecting on the thousands of the waves and becoming the one sun becoming millions, similarly that consciousness which is reflecting on our buddhi, the intellect, are becoming so many various kinds of jivas, pranis. This universe is not real. Again, this universe is not unreal. The example he has given. It exists in consciousness, yet it does not exist as a separate entity. So when we can say that it is existing, when it has a separate entity. But when there is no consciousness, there is no existence of this world. Suppose when we are sleeping, all this house, the building, the door, about which we are so much concerned, here only two of us we live, we are always concerned that doors should be closed and all that. But when you go to sleep, do you remember how many doors are there, doors are open or not? That means this is not existing in my mind again. So it is existing when I am conscious. It is not existing when I am not conscious. That is the way the world is existing because we are conscious about it. It's not existing when we are not conscious about it. So who is responsible for this world? Is creation? Me. Is dissolution? Me. So the joy from this world? Me. Sorrow? Me. So that's why Swami Vivekananda said, you are the maker of your own destiny, don't blame others. When I enjoy this world, it is me, I am thinking I am enjoying, so I enjoy. The same thing another person will say, oh, it is so terrible, I cannot. You cannot. So this is the way we have to understand the world is existing as long as I look at it, I see at it, I understand. That is the world to me. A monk will look at the world in a completely different way. Another person, a householder, will look at the world in a completely different way. For a monk, a real monk, not having any attachment with anyone, so he loves everyone. For him there is no geographical barrier, oh, this is my country, this is my society, this is my religion. He doesn't bother about all those things. Wherever he goes, whoever comes before him and he likes them, talk to them, try to be with them, try to help them, that's all. How it is possible? He thinks in that way. That's why he is a monk. So this is the way the same person, his brother maybe, he will be thinking in a completely different way. So the world exists, of course. How? As we think. It may be a terrible place when you think it is a terrible place. It may be a place of joy when you think it is a place of joy. This is the beauty of the Vedanta. So when we are blaming, we have to understand it is our idea, our thought, our conception, our imagination that is making that thing problem. It's complicated. So it says that this universe is not real and neither it is unreal. It exists in consciousness, yet it does not, because this world has no individual existence. Then the Guru is telling, O Rama, in reality, consciousness reflecting in consciousness shines as consciousness and exists as consciousness. That is the beautiful way that explain the Vedanta. The whatever you see, one person, he was telling to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna that we are all suffering, the why God has created this world like this. He said, oh, this is his play, his game. Leela. Leela means divine play. This is Leela. Then he said, his Leela may be a joy for him, to God, but it's so much of suffering for us. Then Sri Ramakrishna asked him, who are you? You are also the same God. The God has created this universe. God has become you, and He is in this situation suffering, and in that situation enjoying. Friends, I think it is really, really difficult to accept this idea. Why? Because at this moment our mind is not ready. At this moment, maybe some people are really ready to accept it, they understand it. At least intellectually we can try to understand that when we are in deep sleep, world doesn't exist to us. There is no worry. Oh, my mother is sick and that is happening, what will happen? In that deep sleep, suppose you, God forbid, someone goes to coma. He is not thinking anything. The world doesn't exist. Whether the doctors are paying attention or not, giving the proper medicine or not, doesn't care. He'd just be there. So that is the way, the moment we come back to consciousness, we feel I and associate it with these objects, this world, then why it is not here, why it is not there. So who creates this world? One time the world doesn't exist in my mind. Why? Because I was not thinking about it. And another time it does exist in my mind because I am thinking. If we look at the world perspective, there are some problem in some countries. We are not affected by that. But those people living in that particular country, it is terrible for them, very difficult for them, or very important for them. Same people in the other part of the globe, other place, they are not affected by that. Why? They are not thinking. These people, and now suppose some country, they are suffering, and a person from that country is living over here. Here there is no problem, but that person, as because his motherland is over there, it is suffering, and his friends and relatives are there, they are suffering, he will also suffer over here. Why? Because the mental relation. Around other people, in this place, who are not connected with that place, that society, that situation, are not suffering. How you will explain? So this is our mental condition. If you forget, then there is nothing. And if you don't, there is everything. So who is creating this world? We. Our mind is creating. So this is Vedanta. The Vedanta means Advaita Vedanta. There is no two, it is only one. And what is that one? Is consciousness. And who is that consciousness? It is me. I am associating myself, that consciousness, as a male body, as a monk, as these and as that. Otherwise it is all only consciousness and nothing else. When Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna used to go to different places, sometimes the not good people, they will be coming to him. He said, it is okay. And he will be telling, oh mother, mother means the mother goddess Kali. Oh mother, you are dressed like this today? It's good. You like to enjoy in this form? Good. So other people will be wondering, and they will say, why he is looking at those people? They should turn his face. So world to us sometimes is like that. Swami Vivekananda, once he was walking with his friends in Cairo, and by mistake they went to a place which was not good place. So then the other people, his friends, they go, oh my God, where we have come, we have to go away from here. And the situation, they were trying to take back the Swamiji, but Swamiji, step by step, was going towards them and telling, oh mothers, how you have come down over here and why you are in this form. So when the Swami Vivekananda was telling like that, the whole hell transformed into heaven. Those ladies, many of them, they covered their eyes and ran inside the room telling, oh, we can't look at you. And some, they started crying because they felt that the great mistake they have done, committed. And the others, they came and touched the feet of the Swami Vivekananda. The whole hell became heaven from the eye of Swami Vivekananda. He saw only consciousness. He saw the manifestation of the Divine Mother in different forms. For others, it is completely different. So how a realized soul live? That is the question we will come. Our Guru will say, Vasistha will say. So in reality, O Rama, the consciousness reflecting in consciousness shines as consciousness and exists as consciousness. Now the teacher giving the practical instructions to his disciple, how to live. So he is telling, O Raghava, Raghava, the another name of Sri Ramachandra, Bahi Kirtim Samrambha, Hridi Samrambha Barjitaha, Karta Bahi Akarta Antaloke, Bihara Raghava. Very simple. He is telling, Bahi outwardly, Kirtim Samrambha, apparently active. He is very active apparently. Bahi, externally, he is very active. Hridi, but inwardly, Samrambha Barjitaha. There is no activity at all. So very peculiar, we have to understand this. Externally, I am very much active. Internally, I am not working at all. How it is possible? So this is the way sometimes they will teach. In the Bhagavad Gita also we find those who are thinking this night, for them it is a night, for the yogis it is the time to awake. So like that. That means I am not associated all those works. Internally very detached, calm. Externally I am doing. So this is the way we have to survive, we have to live in this world. We cannot simply say this world is not existing, so I will go back to some cave in some forest and then I will sit over there and die. That is a different way of thinking, not very much appreciable. Swami Vivekananda said, because his Guru said, Sri Ramakrishna said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? This is called Vijnana. I am closing my eyes, withdrawing, and then I am finding the peace within. That's good. But that is the beginning. How long you are going to close your eyes? After the realization, you have to come out. I go to college, I go to school, I learn and learn and learn and learn one after another. I am going on researching and submitting the paper. How many times? We have to come out and share that knowledge with others. Otherwise, what is the use of that knowledge? So, same way, in the beginning, we are closing our eyes, withdrawing the sense organs and from the sense objects, meditating, trying to get the peace within. That is all right. But a time should come when you realize that everything is nothing but the same thing which you were meditating within. You can see God by closing your eyes. Can't you see God by opening your eyes? With this training, with this teaching and the realization, afterwards Swami Vivekananda said, whoever is serving the man is serving the God. Jibe prem kare jai jan, shei jan sheviche ishar. Whoever is helping the people. So he said, my God are those whom by mistake you call as man. And he said, my special object of worship, the downtrodden, the poor, the illiterate, the oppressed. It is not emotion. The majority of the people, they talk from the emotion. Oh, they are poor, we should help them, we should do this. A lot of organizations are there. Vivekananda is giving this idea from the point of view of the Vedanta, because there is nothing but consciousness. So that Vedanta, when you can understand, Sri Ramakrishna went to meet the Vidyasagar, and he said that your mind is already soft, and you are helping people, thinking about them. Not only that, even the calf is not getting the milk from the cow, so he stopped drinking milk. The calf should get so kind, and kindness is the first step of spirituality. But that kindness, if it comes from emotion, then it is binding us. But kindness coming from the knowledge that everything is nothing but the same Brahman, that suffering is my suffering, that is spirituality. So Sri Ramakrishna commented about Vidyasagar, the so costly jewels are there within him, but he is not aware about it. So he was a social reformer, a very kind-hearted person. He tried to do so much of help, but in a social way only, not in a spiritual. So the Ramakrishna Mission monks, that they were asked to go and help, the only idea that we are serving the living gods and goddesses who are at this moment in distress. This is really, really very difficult. So he says, inside you have to constantly be aware about it, and externally you have to do actively other work. Bahi kirtima samramba kirtima. When you are working, you are very sincerely working, but at the same time you know, I am not going to do anything actually. What I am going to do? So that kirtima, the word apparent, that you are working, hridi samrambha barjitaha, karta bahi, akarta antaloke. Karta bahi, externally you are the master. Akarta antaloke, but you know and constantly praying to God, not me, but thou, O God. In the Ramakrishna Mission monks, their sadhana, spiritual practice is very difficult. Those who are wandering monks, their only problem is some food, clothing, and maybe sometimes where to stay. So they will be roaming here and there like that. But these monks, the Ramakrishna Mission monks, and then the organized, the other organizations are also there. I can talk about our organization because I joined and grew up within this. The moment you are joining, from then onwards you are an administrator. Those who are looking after the kitchen in the Ramakrishna Mission, if you go to India, 500 people every day, 4 times they are taking food. You can understand. You need like the hotel management capacity, manager's capacity. We say Bhandari Maharaj, and he is going, the very ordinary at the shoe or then just barefoot, looking after how many things are there, and 15, 20 people are working under him. He is signing their checks, he is paying them, sometimes firing them, sometimes recruiting. He is an administrator. And similarly, we are looking after the school. You are a principal, you are a secretary. So many people will come talking with them as if I am doing. But who am I? From our headquarters, one telephone call will come. Previously, they used to write letter. Nowadays, they don't write. Over a telephone, they will say, I am General Secretary Maharaj will speak to you. Yes, Maharaj. He say that you better leave that job and come over here. Your job is gone. So you were the in charge of a big institution, this, that. You were having the car and the PA and the peon and so many things. In one moment, you have to leave and go. And without any care. No, it's okay. Next, who will look after? What will happen to my job that I started? Don't bother about that. So that is Bahi Kirtima Samrambha. When we are working, we are very genuinely, sincerely working, but as if we are working. But if you are really with whole heart, if you work and get attached to that, it will be very difficult, very difficult. Karta Bahi, outside, externally, you are Karta. And Akarta Antaloke. But inside, you are completely Akarta. So this is the challenge. Every day before going to bed, you have to cry before God. You are asking me to do like this. It's so difficult. Be always within me so that I don't take any wrong decision. The friends, I don't know how many of you are aware about the Ramakrishna Mission institution in India particularly, huge institutions. From where I have come here, that Arunachal Pradesh school, the 500 students residential school, and you can understand it's just like a small the township. Your own water filtering and then supply, then the vehicle and these, so many. Every day almost 800 to 1000 people are eating. You can imagine the huge dining hall and the kitchen, 45 to 50 people, the cooks, they are constantly. So these are going on and you are the in charge. Under you so many people are working. You are giving the job and they are getting the salary and you are sometimes firing people because you have to. You are a karta. And that time if you sit on your chair as a secretary and you fold your hand and say, oh, I don't know, you see, you have done some mistake, please forgive me, please don't work over here. Do you think you will be able to run that show? So you have to show that you are the, and when you are an administrator, the basic thing is assertion. Administrator, if he is going on folding the hand and begging, that means he is not an administrator at all. Administrator means assertion. He will think and then he will decide, and decision means final. Good, bad, whatever. So that is called administration. So assertion is the basic thing. And for the monk, negation. Not me, not me, not me. Thou, O God, thou. See, these two, this is called Ramakrishna Mission, monk sadhana. So when the people, they come, they say, oh, you are living very nicely. They're naturally very clean and well shaved and all that. So this is the way, this training that the Guru Vasistha is giving to his Shishya Sri Ramachandra, the same thing was taught to us by Swami Vivekananda. So this is called Bahi Kirtima Samrambha, Hridi Samrambha Varjita, Karta Bahi, Akarta Antaloke, Bihara Raghava. This way you can roam. O Raghava, apparently live a very active life, but inwardly be free from any effort. Eternally, externally show that you are the master, but internally unattached, and move free, O Raghava. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said this in his unique Bengali, Advaito Gyan Achole Bede Jatha Ichha Tatha Jao. The Bengali ladies, they wear the shadi, and the last part of the shadi is called an achal, the end of that. And there usually, traditionally, they used to keep the keys of the whole house. So that they used to keep over there. Sri Ramakrishna giving the example of that, and say, instead of the key, you rather tie the knowledge of Advaita and then move. Live with the world, mix with people, do everything that you are doing, but internally completely detached. That consciousness should not go away. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we always find, why do you call this world a deep well or a trackless forest? An aspirant may think so in the beginning, but how can he be frightened by the world if he hold fast to God? So one is the beginning, another is the end. Suppose the student is going to the school, and then he continues whole life going and attending the school. No one is going to tell him as an educated person. No. He goes just like that habit, and no school will allow also, maybe after some time. Similarly, when we are practicing the spiritual life, we have to understand, I am going to get maturity in the spiritual life. And very peculiarly, we go when you are 6 years old holding the finger of the grandma to the temple, and then after 60, I take the hand holding the hand of my grandchild, go to the temple, the same person. No improvement, but I claim I am a spiritual person. I am a religious man. Every evening I go to the temple. I can memorize, I have memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita. I listen to this Swami, that Swami. Is this the sign of spirituality? So where is the growth? That's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna says, why you are afraid of the world? The world is nothing. Only if you can understand, oh, this is the Majar Kuti. Those who have understood it, they are not at all afraid of the world. Rather, to him, it would become a mansion of mirth. A Shangshar Majar Kuti. That means the world is an enjoyable place, because the God has become so many things, and so many different ways he is behaving. You are just enjoying. Suppose you go to the one place and you know that everything is nothing but, sometimes some parks are there. You go, and then here in Chicago they have created one, the Centenary Park, and you go and stand before a wall, and then suddenly you will find a face is coming up, and the face will smile at you, and the water will come out. And water is real, of course, but everything, other things are nothing but some show, the light maybe. So that is the way we have to understand the whole world is so enjoyable. Why should I be afraid of? O Raghava, he is again telling Guru Vasistha, Anta Santakta Sarva Asha Bita Raga Vibhasanaha Bahi Sarva Samacharo Loke Bihara Raghava. Again and again the same way. Why the repetition? Because it goes down to our conception. Otherwise, once you say and leave, they will forget, or they will not understand the thing clearly. So the gurus always they repeat. This is the tradition in our scripture, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. You will find the same thing that going on repeating. Anta, that means mentally, santakta, give up, sarva asha, all dream. Don't dream, don't desire, don't think about anything, sarva asha. Bita raga vibhasanaha. Bita raga means completely free from attachment, vibhasanaha, free from the desires. Bahi sarva samacharo, externally perform all responsibilities, Loki, and then Bihara Raghava. Whatever the responsibilities that has been given to me, perform that. And that should be perfectly done. That's called Swadharma. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna is giving the stress on that. Swadharme nidhanam sreya paradharma bhayavaha. We are confused about the religion, and many people, without understanding religion, they criticize religion and they say, no, we are not going to practice it. But what is religion? Keeping your words. Dharma means what? Religion means what? Keeping your promises. Each and every one, everywhere, in every walks of life, we take the promises, we take the oath. When I am going to be a student, I take the oath that I am going to be a student. I am going to listen to my teachers, not disturbing them. When the person is becoming a professor, he also takes the oath, I am going to teach as best as possible. When one person become an administrator, he take the oath. A military officer take the oath. A judge take the oath. A husband, wife, they take the oath. A monk is taking the oath. Whole life we are taking the oath, but we are not keeping it. In America, if you like to become, if you coming from outside, if you like to become the American citizen, a time will come when they accept you, you have to take the oath. I am the citizen of America, and these are my responsibilities. I am aware about it. If it's necessary, I will perform it. Oath only. Keeping those oaths, words, are dharma. As a husband, I have taken the oath to take the care of the family. I must perform that. As a father, as a mother, as a teacher, do that. That's all. Why confused? Why you are mixing religion with others? Religion has nothing to do with the politics or anything. Religion is realization. Realization that you are the supreme consciousness. That is exactly what he said. Perform everything. But you are the consciousness. Don't get attached to that. Just do that and wash your hand. That will be, O Raghava, you must live in this world. Don't go away. Where you are going? The world you are carrying in your mind. Sometimes people, they go and then they will carry the whole load of things. Oh, I am a vegetarian, so I have to take this. I am a veggie, so naturally this. And then I like to read this type of book. I like to. Whole world that you are, your world, you are carrying with you, and I am going to the secluded place. You are carrying the whole world, in your own mind. Your thoughts are your own world. So naturally, if we understand this, the life becomes easy, and the spirituality, the religion, is a real help to get the joy, to get the self-confidence. O Raghava, you must live in this world, performing all your duties and responsibilities, being mentally always aware of the futility of this world, and hence free from all types of hankering, giving up desires for worldly objects. So, very time is short, friends. This is a natural curiosity to know about the God realized souls. So, we will just mention about it. I don't think we will be able to explain. So, I was mentioning how the Guru is mentioning here how a person will live. The practical instructions: be in this world, but don't off the world. Be over here, perform your duties, but don't get entangled to it. Whatever the responsibility is coming, don't say, no, I am a spiritual man, I don't work. That is foolishness. You have to work, you must work. Even the blinking is also work. The thoughts are also work. So without work we cannot stay. Work, but without attachment. So that is saying, and then it says, Is there any person like that, by seeing whom I can understand this type of the teachings are truly good and practice them? So here it mentioned, this is a natural curiosity to know about the God realized souls. After God realization, how they live, how they talk, how they behave with others. Arjuna asking this same question, and Uddhava is also asking the same question. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasha, sthamadhishtasya keshava, sthitodhi kim pramhasheta, kim asit brajet kim. The Arjuna, when he heard in the second chapter, 54th verse, he asked this question. And in reply, the Lord gave so many answers in one after another. So we will discuss about it in the next discourse. In the Uddhava Gita also we find another conversation. Bhagavad Gita is the conversation between Arjuna and Sri Krishna. Uddhava Gita is the conversation between Uddhava and Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is giving the answer and these two are asking the question. Thank you, friends. We will discuss next time. Is there any question?
Yes, please. So the first question is, how is Atman in the heart? Even in Bhagavad Gita, God says, I am in everybody's heart. Swamiji, since Atman is Nirguna and not a physical thing, then how is it in the heart?
It is not as a physical heart. The physical heart that we think is not that heart. It is the consciousness. You know, the consciousness, when we can understand the I. Who is this I? Just I was, as we were discussing, that when you are saying I, who is this I? Can you identify I? Is this the body? No. Because I was a little boy, I am a grown up person, I am going to be old, I am going to die. You are observing the changes of your body. I was a little boy thinking for these, and then slowly, your thoughts are also changing. Who is observing? You. So when you are observing your body is changing, you are observing that your thoughts are changing, mind is changing, then who is this I? Who is constant? Who is always present? I was a baby, I was a boy, I am a grown up man, where I. Who is this I? That is called the Atman. Thank you.
The second question is from Devashish. He is saying, if any person only helps people selflessly throughout his life but never prayed before God, can the person attain Jivan Mukti?
It's a very good question. But you are not praying to God, but you are aware that you are helping the living gods, isn't it? So when you are aware that I am helping the living gods and goddesses, so your helping will be completely different. It will be puja. So you will become the votaries, as they call the votaries, a pujari. So, hey, poor man, come over here, take this thing, that thing. You are just throwing from your car. If you are helping in that way, that is a different thing. But if you are helping in a other way, that will be all right. So this is the main thing. You know that the Ramakrishna Mission, they do the relief work. Then a group of people, they went to the relief work. Then when they came back, they were reporting to the then General Secretary, the first General Secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission. And they were telling, Swamiji, we have given this many things and that many things. Swami Sharadananda ji is a very calm and composed person. He asked, but what you have given? He said, why? Then they again repeated, we have given this, we have given that. The Swamiji asked, what you have given? Then third time he got confused. Why I am telling again and again? You are not understanding. I have understood. You try to understand. All these things that you are thinking you have given, is it yours? Some rich people, they have donated money or the material, and you carried those things and gave to the poor people. Just like in a carrier or maybe a messenger or like a post office work that you have done. They gave over here and you took those and gave over there. What you have given? Then he said, oh, I don't understand. Then he said, your prayer. You should pray to those for those people. God, they are suffering. Please help them. Now, whatever the things we could collect, I have given. So that is called puja. Devashi is the previous, that way we have to understand. I am helping people and I am going to become the Jivan Mukta, the liberated while living. Of course, but the attitude, that depends. Thank you.
Arijit has a two-part question. He's saying, if one's consciousness guides us to attain God realization, but another to get promotion in office for betterment of the family, how to settle such a conflict?
Now, it is not the two, it is the same consciousness. Then you are utilizing the consciousness in a different way. That's all, nothing else. As Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling that there was a lamp that was burning, the light. Then one person was reading a holy book, another person was forging, taking the help of that light, the currency note. The light is there. How you are utilizing, that is the main. So if you are focusing on to the world and trying to achieve that will work in that way. But I will say, don't mix it up. When you are in the office, you have to achieve success over there. Don't think somehow dilly-dilly will, not like that. You are the householder, and in the householder you have to prove yourself, your success. You must achieve that. But ultimately you will say, whatever the strength, O God, you gave me, intellect that you gave me, now I utilize it for your purpose. Please don't bind me. That will be sufficient. Thank you.
The second question, same person, Arijit, is asking, what is the difference between Nithya and Leela, Brahman and Shakti, and how supreme consciousness is placed?
Nithya means eternal. Leela means temporary. They are the terminologies, you know. There sometimes they say Nithya, Anitya. So Nithya and Leela. The Leela is usually the dualist. They use that word. And Nithya means eternal and Leela means the temporary. And the second, what is it? I forgot.
Brahman and Shakti.
Brahman and Shakti. And the Brahman means the consciousness, means the knowledge, and Shakti means the power of that knowledge. Suppose you know the computer nowadays. So the computer is here, but I don't know how to boot it, how to start it, how to work with that. The machine is there, but I cannot use because I don't have the knowledge. So I need both knowledge and also the working capacity. So knowledge should be there. That knowledge is also translated into action. The one is Brahman when it is pure knowledge but not activity. Another is Shakti when that knowledge translated into action. And third, another, what is it? And consciousness, right?
How is supreme consciousness placed?
Supreme consciousness means Brahman. The Brahman, the word means all-pervading consciousness. That is Brahman.
The next question is, how can I always be aware to do Karma Yoga? How do I constantly remind myself?
That is practice, you know. When you have heard and you are going on remembering, and then obviously you will be able to practice it. In one day it is not possible, but through practices it is possible. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, first you should go to a sadhu. That means sadhu sangha. That means you should hear, listen. Then, okay, this is the wonderful thing. Whatever I am working, whatever I am doing, whatever I am thinking, I offer it to God. Then you start practicing. One day you will be able to, next day you will forget, third day again, oh no, I must do. Like that, a time will come when you will automatically do it. So only through practice one can become perfect. Thank you, friends. So let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat.